Finding your true seat. In these segments, we're going to talk about how you can relax into your saddle. First, we're going to talk about the Western seat versus the dressage or English seat. Then we'll talk about some leg work, some exercises that you can do at the walk. We'll talk about the difference between the sitting trot and your posting trot, and some leg exercises at the canter as well. We're going to do just a little bit of work on hills to further explain how your leg work is so very important to work in conjunction with your horse's front legs and also your horse's back legs. And then we're going to do just a little bit of work yielding off of the leg to again show how important it is that you know how to move your legs in conjunction with your horse's movement, which is all going to help you to relax your body and find your true seat. The Western seat compared to the dressage seat. One of the difficult things about riding is that different disciplines, Western compared to English or dressage, would ask riders to sit differently. Normally, when people first start to ride, they are told, sit up straight, put your heels down, and this is how people are expected to ride. While this is very good for flatland riding, it is not very conducive if you've got work to do, especially if you're riding in terrain that is not flat. What you want to be able to do is switch between this seat and more of a Western seat, which is just going to allow me to roll back onto my pockets or roll back towards my tailbone. And a Western rider is going to tend to ride a little bit more slouchy like this, and a dressage rider a little bit more up like this. Now this seat is very important for both the Western and the English rider because this is the seat that you're going to use when you're posting, and both disciplines should be able to post. Feel free to sit up straight and go ahead and stand up. And you should be able to stand up. If, when you're trying to stand, if you're slouching like this and your feet are forward, you're not going to be able to stand up. You're going to have to kind of like throw your shoulders forward, you got to push yourself up, and now I'm leaning forward instead of standing up. So the dressage seat or the flatland seat is very important because it does allow you to sit up straight and get the leverage that you need to stand. And what you want to do is kind of push your heels down and then sit back down. And now to find your Western seat, take this and just roll back onto your tailbone. Roll forward, roll back onto your seat or your tailbone or your pockets, however you want to think of that. And now sit up straight. Can you stand? Now sit, roll back. This is the seat that I want to work on, and I'm going to call this the Western seat. This seat, as well as this sitting forward seat, we're going to start working on our legs from the difference between these two seats. So if I say flatland seat or dressage seat, English seat, it's going to be a sit up straight, my nose is slightly forward. If I say a Western seat, I'm going to roll back, point my nose down just slightly, which is going to round my shoulders and change the bend of my spine. This is going to free your hips up a whole lot more. But you must be able to go back and forth, stand, sit, roll back. Sit up, stand, sit, roll back. The important thing is that when you roll back, your feet do not go forward like this. You should not be sitting up here slouching like you're in a lounge chair or something like this. And that is the problem with most Western riders, that they either throw their feet forward or their stirrups are far too long, so they're not allowing their legs any support. Just to recap, you've got your flatland seat, stand up, sit, you're still sitting up straight with your heels down, and now roll back. And now sit up straight again. And to test that you're doing it properly, you should be able to stand straight up with or without a saddle horn. Roll forward, stand up, sit, roll back. And this is the important thing here. This is where you're going to find your balance. Using your legs. Now I've added some wraps to Jody's legs here. On my right side I have a red wrap, and on my left side I have a blue. And this will just stop the confusion from me saying right and left. I'm going to say red and blue. And the ways that you're going to use your legs, there's going to be 3 ways. What I'm asking you to do is extend your leg, and I'm going to go with the blue side right now. As you extend your leg, you're going to just lengthen your leg, and you're doing that by breaking at the knee. So I'm straightening my knee, which is causing my heel to go slightly down, and now I'm going to press slightly forward at the walk. And then I would alternate. So I'm going to go to the red and go down, now slightly forward, and now to the blue, down and slightly forward, and now to the red, down and slightly forward. When your horse is walking, I'm asking you to do that as the front legs are moving. So as your horse's, for example, red leg, the foreleg is moving forward, you're going down and forward. And then as this blue leg goes forward, you're going down and forward. And what this will do is it will allow you to start moving your hips ever so slightly with the rhythm of your horse. And I'll ask you to do this in time with your horse's front legs. And then I'll ask you to switch and do it with your horse's hind legs. And the way that you'll switch is you'll do 2 on the same leg. So if I were walking with my horse, I would be going red leg, blue leg, and then I would go red, red, blue, red. And that's going to allow me to do this same walking motion with my horse's hind legs. And then to switch back, I would go again red, red, blue, red. So it's like a little skip step that you're doing. And the reason that you do that skip step is because if your horse is going downhill, you want to walk like this, free up your hips to support your horse's weight on the forehand, because your horse is catching their weight and really, and if it's a very steep hill, allowing their hindquarter to almost slide down that hill. If your horse is pushing uphill, you don't want to walk with your horse's front legs. You want to switch and be able to support and put your weight down when your horse's hind leg hits the ground. And as your horse becomes more collected and works off the hindquarter, you'll also not always walk with the fore. Another reason that you want to be able to switch from walking with those front legs and switching to the hind is so that when you're doing your lateral work, you're yielding off of the leg and your half pass work, you'll want to be able to switch so that you can ask your horse to move off pressure, and you want to find that pressure when that inside leg is on the ground. The third way that you're going to use your legs is at the same time both legs going down. So instead of alternating going red, blue, I'm going to go press, 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 press. And I'm just lengthening both feet ever so slightly. And as I'm doing that, and with all these walk steps, sometimes I'm going to just press my heel down, and sometimes I'm going to press just my toe down. And this is going to give some additional support, again, for your legs when you're in the saddle. One of the biggest problems with Western riders, they have their stirrups far too long so that they're not allowing their legs to support their body. They are, in fact, just sitting in the saddle. And so you want to make sure that your legs are supporting your body. You'll do these leg movements at the walk and at the trot, and as we're working on the lope and the canter, you will primarily be pressing both legs at the same time to support as your horse is hitting with that diagonal. A brief recap. What you will do is we'll start out at the walk, work our way to the trot, and then finally to the lope or canter. And the 3 ways, again, we'll be walking in time with your horse's front legs. So I'll be going right, left, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, and then you'll switch. So you'll go red, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, red, which will switch your horse's feet, or you'll move with your horse's opposite feet. You'll either move with the forelegs or the hind legs. And then lastly, you'll press, press, press both legs together. And you're not trying to stand, you're just pressing, giving yourself a little bit of support, which is going to start freeing up your hips. At the walk. So this is where you're going to find your seat. Now we're going to put what we just talked about into use. I'm going to go ahead and ask Jody to walk. Good girl. And first I'm going to use my Western seat. So I'm going to go from my dressage seat, roll back, sit on my tailbone, and I'm going to ask Jody to walk a simple square. Good girl. And as she's walking, I'm going to extend my right, left, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Now I'm going to switch. So I'm going to go red, red. And now I'm out of sync with my horse. Red, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Down, forward, down, forward. Down, forward, red, blue. And now both legs together. Press, 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 press. Red, blue, 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 red, red, blue, red, blue, red. And you can see when I'm doing this now, my shoulders are swinging back and forth. It's because I'm now walking with my horse's hindquarter, and that's throwing off my body. And again, I'm going to go red, blue, I'm back to normal. I'm walking with her front legs. And now I'm going to do both legs together and press, 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 both legs, 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 and red, blue. Now I'm looking at the shoulder to know when those legs are hitting. So I can see her shoulder going forward. The blue one is going forward, and that's when I'm going down and forward with my blue leg. Good girl. And now I'm going to do that very same exercise using my dressage seat or my flatland seat. So I'm going to roll up, sit up straight, and now I'm still going to try to go red, blue, extend down, red, blue, and now I'm going to switch red, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, and red, red, blue, red. Now I'm walking in time again, but my hips are still free enough. Even though I'm sitting up straight, I'm trying to take the stiffness out of my body. And now both legs together. Press, 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 press. And now I'm going to roll back, find my Western seat. Good girl. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. At every corner now I'm going to switch my seat. I'm going to sit up straight. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. Now Western seat. Sit back, relax. Feel how much more you can feel that movement in your hips. Good girl. Red, blue. Now I'm going to do both. Press, press, press. And I'm in my Western seat. Press, press, press. And I'm, again, not trying to press so hard that I'm sitting up straight. I'm trying to vary the pressure that goes into my stirrups. You shouldn't have 100% weight in your stirrups. You shouldn't have 0%, but there are going to be times that you ride when you do need 100% of your weight in your stirrups. And there's going to be times when you need practically zero. But the idea here is that you're moving your hips with the rhythm of your horse. And you want to practice again between sitting up straight, putting your heels down, and feel how this kind of stiffens up your body. And now roll back, and again, move your legs. Press, press, right leg, left leg, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. And now I'm going to ask her to slow down, slow down. The sitting trot. We're going to use these same techniques now at the trot, and I'm just going to sit. And again, I'll refer to my red leg and my blue leg. And this will be the first trotting that Jody has done today, so we'll see how she goes. Here we go. I'm going to use two legs together. Squeeze, squeeze. Good girl. And I'm using Jody because she has a pretty big gait. So here we go. I am rolling my hips. I'm finding my Western seat, and I'm going red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. And I'm going to alternate my legs there to speed her up. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. And I can really feel my hips rolling back and forth. Now I'm going to try to sit up straight and take that dressage seat. And even though that stiffens me up, I still can ever so slightly roll my hips as I'm pressing my leg down into my red, blue, sitting up straight. And now at this corner, I'm going to roll back, find my Western, tailbone, red, blue. Oh, I can feel my hips moving so much more. Red, blue. And now I'm going to try to switch. So I'm going to go red, red, blue, red. And now I'm doing the opposite. And you can see my shoulders swinging back and forth. I'm completely out of time with my horse. Oh my gosh. And here we go. Red, red, blue, red, blue, red. So I'm extending down to red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And now I'm going to do both legs together. Press, press. Press, 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 press. Both legs together is very important because as you're going downhill, trotting downhill in your sitting seat, you need to be able to press, 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 press. Press both down, 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 down. Still moving my hips. I'm also trying to as I'm extending my leg down, move my hips. If you have a Western saddle, you can look at your saddle horn, see how it's moving back and forth, back and forth. It's moving to my right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left. At this corner, both legs, press, 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 press. And I'm in my Western seat again. Press, press, both legs down gently. And I'm really just pressing my toes right now. Toes, 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 toes. Now I'm gonna go back to red, blue, red, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Now I'm gonna sit up straight and do the same thing. Red, blue. And again, feel how your hips can roll ever so gently back and forth. Good girl. Red, blue, red, blue. And again, I'm looking at that shoulder. I can see that red leg, the shoulder going forward. Now, now. And I'm pressing my toes each time that she hits the ground. Press, press, press. This is allowing me to move in time with her where she's catching her weight. And again, you can switch this up. So right now I'm going red, blue, red, red, blue, blue. Now I'm opposite, and I really need to swing my shoulders. Throws her off just a little bit, enough so that she wants to slow down. Red, blue, red, blue. Now with my hands and my arms, can you rest them on your saddle horn or maybe your pommel and get your arms out of the mix. Let's go, sweetie. So again, I'm going right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Pressing down, 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 freeing up my hips to move with my saddle. Sit up straight, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And I'm going to go ahead and ask her to slow down. Good girl. Come to a halt. So at the sitting trot, it does not matter if you're using your Western seat or your flatland seat or your dressage seat. I want to make sure that you can still press, 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 alternate it back. So right, right, left, right, and then both feet together. Remember, you can either press your heels down or your toes down. The idea here is that you should start feeling your hips moving more with your horse. In the next section, we're going to take on the posting trot. The posting trot. I'm going to go ahead and ask Jody to move off again. And you can see now that as you're starting to free up your hips and you're getting a sense of your horse rocking from right to left, you'll be able to pick up your post much more easily without having to always look at it or have someone else tell you if you're correct or not. I'm going to go ahead and find my Western seat, pick up my sitting trot. So I'm sitting back on my tailbone and I'm going to squeeze, squeeze. Good girl. And again, I'm going to kind of find my right, red, blue, red, blue. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. And when that blue leg hits, that's when I want to stand and I want to rise. So as I'm riding along here, I want to pick up my flatland seat, meaning I'm sitting up straight, and I'm still keeping track of that red leg, blue leg, red leg, blue leg. So as I'm saying red, rise, red, rise, red, red, rise, red, red, rise, red, rise, red, rise, 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 rise. In order to pick up that seat, I need to make sure that I'm not sitting back into my Western seat. Again, if I keep track of the red, blue, red, blue, red, rise, 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 rise. That allows me to rise and fall with the leg on the outside wall, which is that red leg is going forward. But the important thing is that you're learning to pick up the proper post because you have this sense of where your horse's feet are now. So again, as I'm going red, blue, red, rise, rise, rise. If you're still sitting way back in your Western saddle seat, you need to sit forward first. So as she's going red, blue, I'm starting to sit up straight. Red, blue, red, rise, 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 rise. Good girl. So you should be able to look at either the inside leg and know if you should be rising, 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 or sitting, 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 sitting. Rising, 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 or sitting, 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 sitting. Just by having a quick peek down at that shoulder. Come on, sweetie. And I'm gonna go back to my sitting trot. Right, left, red, blue. Good girl. So once you can feel your hips moving in time with your horse, I find that it's very easy and it's very conducive to picking up the correct post lead if you can say red, blue, red, rise, so that you know you should rise here. You need to get your weight into it just a split second before that foot hits so that you're coming up. Again, if you're too far back here, you're going to have to throw your weight forward and then come up. The idea here is that you need to be able to switch from this Western seat, which is very comfortable, frees your hips up, to sitting up straight, which is going to give you just a few strides of stiffness, really, in your own body, and then be able to rise. Again, you need to be able to stand up without any sort of balance. You don't necessarily want to grab onto that saddle horn, but be able to switch from this seat to this seat, from this seat to this seat, rise. Switch, rise, sit, roll back, roll forward, and then stand. These are the exercises that are going to get you to find your true seat. In the next section, we're going to talk about the lope, and there won't be nearly as much to do because at the lope, you're going to really just separate your legs and really press with both legs at the same time to assist your horse as they are hitting that diagonal. The lope, or the canter. Remember, the difference between a lope and a canter is the saddle. I'm riding Jody today in a Western saddle, so we're loping. If she were in a dressage saddle or an English saddle, I would be cantering her. When you are taking on your lope, you can fluctuate between your two seats. We've got our Western seat, in which my ears are really behind my hip right here. And then you'll have your dressage seat, in which my ear is really meeting my hip here. And I can even take that a little bit more forward. Now, if this is the case, my hips need to come forward to meet my ear, and that's hard to do when my horse is standing still. Or if I'm using my Western seat and sitting back, what I'm doing is I'm pressing my hips even farther forward than my ear. So my hips go forward and then rock back and forward and back. And as I'm riding young horses, I definitely prefer a Western saddle so I can get back here, relax, and let this action happen. If I'm sitting up straight or a little bit forward to compensate, which happens when you're riding a more collected and organized horse, you will find your balance sitting up like this, but I'm going to fluctuate between both here as I'm asking her to take her lope. I will always start back like this, and I'm not leaning so far back, and I do not have any tension in my stomach. It's very important that when you find your Western seat, that your back bends like so. So here we go. I'm going to ask her to first walk. Good girl. Oh, she's just ready to go. And I can always practice, moving my hips again. Right, left, red, blue, red, blue. I'm going to ask her for a trot right away. Good girl. And I'm just going to trot around one circle and then pick up that lope on the other side. I can post if I want. These should be all things that I'm not worried about before I start picking up my lope. I want to be very comfortable in all of my gaits. Make sure I can go to my sitting trot. Know where those feet are, blue, red, over my cue. And I'm going to lean back. And I'm pressing my feet down into my stirrups. Press, press, press each step. And now I'm going to lean forward. Lean forward. So now I have a much more dressage-y seat in which my hips are coming forward. Come on, sweetie. Dressage seat, Western seat. Dressage seat. Western seat. Lean forward, straightening my back. inside leg to keep her moving. And I am pressing my legs down. Each step, press, press, press. Western seat, Western. Look at my elbows, how they lengthen. Each step. Dressage seat. I'm going to lean back. Western. So you'll want to make sure that you've worked out your walk and your trot before you start taking on that lope or canter. Remember, there needs to be some flexibility in your body, so that you're either sitting up straight and allowing your hips to meet your ears, or you're leaning back on your tailbone, rolling back, so that really your hips are forward of you all of the time. And you'll need to adjust this seat, especially when you're not riding flatland. If you're going to go off and do some trail riding and some aggressive riding, trotting and cantering, loping, up and down hills, you need to be able to fluctuate your body like so in order to meet the need of your horse and your horse's balance. So it's a misnomer that you just need to sit up straight and put your heels down when you're riding all the time, because that is just not the case for each ride that you're going to be on. Yielding off of the leg. One of the reasons that you want to be able to move your legs freely and in time with your horse is so that you can practice doing fun things like moving your horse off of your leg. I'm going to go ahead and walk Jody here, and I'm going to use my dressage seat, so it doesn't really matter if I'm going to use my Western seat rather. It doesn't matter if I'm on my tailbone or sitting up straight. But I want to get in time with that red leg, blue leg, red leg, blue leg. And when I want to yield my horse off of the leg, I want to do the opposite. So instead of going red, I want to be able to press when the blue is hitting the ground. So every time the blue hits the ground, I'm going to press, 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 and just move her gently over to the rail. And then I can go back to doing my red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. But you do need to be able to switch this walking with your horse's front feet so that you can be a much more effective rider. So as I come around again, as I'm walking, I'm simply just walking with the red leg and the blue leg and the red leg and the blue leg and the red leg and the blue leg. Red leg, blue leg. Good girl. And remember, I can ask her to speed up as well by hitting her opposite to get her to speed up. And again, when the blue leg hits, press, 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 and then ask her to walk forward again. So if you have trouble with your horse moving off of your leg, then these are exercises that will benefit your horse greatly. But it's important that the rider understand that they need to be in the mix as far as being able to find their seat, knowing where your horse's feet are, so you can assist your horse in doing some of these things. And you could see the first time I asked her to move off my leg, she was not quite sure for a couple of steps. But the more I kept saying, hey, every time your blue leg hits, I want you to move over just a little bit. So here we go, blue leg and press, press, oh, so nice, press, 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 and then I'm saying with my outside leg, that's far enough. And that was fantastic. Good girl. In the next section, I'm going to talk just briefly about speed control, going slightly faster by alternating your legs. So as I'm pressing down with the red leg, I'm going to bang her with my opposite leg. Speed control. Another benefit of being able to extend your legs down so that when this leg is extended, your opposite leg can tag your horse. This leg then extends, tag, 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 tag. And that should be the cue to say to your horse, speed up in the gait that you're in. And that can work in both the walk and then the trot. When you're at your lope or your canter, I would often use my inside leg and then my outside leg and my inside leg to, again, urge your horse to go a little bit faster. I'm going to ask Jody to move off here. And one of the other benefits of being able to walk with your horse's front feet here, as I'm walking red and blue, I can tap her with my opposite leg. So as my right leg is engaging down there, red, I can tap her with my opposite leg each time, which is a cue to get your horse to speed up. If you recall from our transitions and speed control DVD or segments, the way that you transition is with two legs together to go from your walk to your trot to your lope or canter. But the way that you speed up within a gait is to alternate your legs. So as I'm coming through this corner and I want her to speed up, if I'm walking red, blue, as my red goes forward, I can bump her and tell her to speed up her gait just a little bit, which she did there very begrudgingly. So I would tap her 3 times with my legs and then give her a tap with my either crop, or here I'm just using the end of my split rein. So as I come towards the camera, I will do the same thing again. So I'm getting in time with her feet. I'm saying red, there's a red step, blue step, red step, blue step, red step, blue step, red step, blue step. Good girl. And she sped up just enough. And I'm going to do the same thing here as she's going red step, blue step, red step. Red step, blue step. Good girl. So she didn't trot. Now again, if I want her to go from her walk to her trot, I would not alternate my legs. I would squeeze with 2 legs together. Squeeze, squeeze, and there's my trot. So it's very clear to her when it's time to transition and when it's time to speed up. Now, as you are riding progresses and your horse and you become much better horsemen and trained horses, these cues will change as time goes on. But for young horses or for pleasure horses, for horses that are not really going to be schooled horses, these are the cues that you want to be consistent about. A little bit of hill work. The last reason that you want to really work on your seat is so that as you're going up and down hills, you can assist your horse as they are moving. As I'm going to ask Katie to walk down this small hill, again, I'm going to press right, left, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. And this is because she's finding her balance here on a forequarter going down a hill. So I'm going red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. And my hips just moving along with her. And I'm saying, look, I'm putting my weight down when you need me to put my weight down. And that is how you're going to assist your horse. And that is at the walk and the trot. Going uphill, right now, since it's still flat, I'm going red, blue, red, blue, red, red, blue. Now I'm pedaling with her hind legs. So I'm opposite of her forelegs, and I'm walking with those hind legs. And now as we come to the crest of the hill, I will switch and go red, red, blue. And now I'm back. This allowing my seat to relax and move the way that my horse is moving. You can also practice pressing with both legs as you're going downhill. So as I have Jody here, instead of going red, blue, I'm going to go press, 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 press. As your horse is trotting, you're going to find that this is very favorable because you'll use your legs as somewhat of a shock absorber. So there you have it. This DVD and these segments are all about finding your seat. And so much about finding your seat is about making sure that you have a flexible back, that you can extend your legs in time with your horse, out of time with your horse, which out of time at the walk means you're in time with your horse's hindquarters. Being able to press both legs at the same time so that you know what's going on down below. All of these segments should help you to find your seat and have a whole lot more fun in your saddle.